The world is a weird and wonderful place. These places amazed us every single moment. Some of these places are beautiful and some are dangerous. Some of them are very weird also. So, in this video we will talk to you about 15 of them that obviously surprise you. Number 1. Spotted Lake, British Columbia, Canada. Canada's Spotted Lake has long been revered by the native Okanagan, Syilx, people, and it's easy to see why they think of it as sacred. In the summer the water of the lake evaporates and small mineral pools are left behind, each one different in color to the next. The unique lake can be viewed on Highway 3, northwest of the small town of Osoyoos, although visitors are asked not to trespass on tribal land. Spotted Lake is richly concentrated with various minerals. It contains dense deposits of magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium sulfates. It also contains high concentrations of 8 other minerals and lower amounts of silver and titanium. Most of the water in the lake evaporates over the summer, revealing colorful mineral deposits. Large spots on the lake appear and are colored according to the mineral composition and seasonal amount of precipitation. Magnesium sulfate, which crystallizes in the summer, is a major contributor to spot color. In the summer, remaining minerals in the lake harden to form natural walkways around and between the spots. Number 2. The Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. 60 million years ago a huge volcanic eruption spewed out a mass of molten basalt, which then solidified and contracted as it cooled, creating the cracks that can be seen today. There are an estimated 37,000 polygon columns at this World Heritage Site, so geometrically perfect that local legend has it they were created by a giant. It's a firm contender for one of the weirdest places on Earth. Consider taking a day tour from Belfast to explore the scenery. The Giant's Causeway is an area of about 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, the result of an ancient volcanic fissure eruption. It is located in County Antrim on the north coast of Northern Ireland, about 3 miles or 5 kilometers northeast of the town of Bushmills. It was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1986 and a National Nature Reserve in 1987 by the Department of the Environment for Northern Ireland. In a 2005 poll of Radio Times readers, the Giant's Causeway was named the 4th greatest natural wonder in the United Kingdom. The tops of the columns form stepping stones that lead from the cliff foot and disappear under the sea. Most of the columns are hexagonal, although there are also some with 4, 5, 7, or 8 sides. The tallest are about 12 meters, 39 feet, high, and the solidified lava in the cliffs is 28 meters, 92 feet, thick in places. Much of the Giant's Causeway and Causeway Coast World Heritage Site is owned and managed by the National Trust. It is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Northern Ireland, receiving over 998,000 visitors in 2019. Access to the Giant's Causeway is free of charge. It is not necessary to go via the visitor center, which charges a fee. 9. The remainder of the site is owned by the Crown Estate and several private landowners. Number 3. Thor's Well, Oregon, USA. Sitting on the edge of the Oregon coast near Cape Perpetua, a gaping, seemingly bottomless sinkhole swallows the unbroken stream of seawater around it. Thor's Well, as the natural wonder is known, is not actually bottomless. It is, however, very dangerous. Also known as the drain pipe of the Pacific, the well is actually a hole in the rock that only appears to drain water from the ocean. According to some researchers, the well probably started out as a sea cave dug out by the waves, before the roof eventually collapsed and created openings at the bottom and top through which the ocean sprays. The huge hole is likely only around 20 feet, 6 meters, deep, but it still manages to produce amazing sights. Not for the faint of heart, however. The sight is most spectacular at high tide, or during storms when water washes violently over the rocks and funnels into the hole. During these sudden torrents, unsuspecting visitors to the site run the risk of being swept right into the maelstrom. Regardless of the risks, photographers and nature lovers continue to flock to the stunning fountain to see the aggressive waters that live up to their godly namesake's stormy personality. The best time to visit Thor's Well is 1 hour before the high tide to see it without water and then observe how the formation fills up. In rough conditions at Thor's Well in Oregon, also known as Spouting Horn, the surf rushes into the gaping sinkhole and then shoots upwards with great force. It can be viewed by taking the Captain Cook Trail from the Cape Perpetua Scenic Area Visitor Center, but for your own safety stay well back, especially at high tide or during winter storms. Number 4. Pamukkale, Turkey. The ancient Greek city of Hierapolis was built on top of the Travertine Formation, which is in total about 2,700 meters, 8,860 feet, long, 600 meters, 1,970 feet wide and 160 meters, 525 feet high. It can be seen from the hills on the opposite side of the valley in the town of Denizli, 20 kilometers away. Known as Pamukkale, Cotton Castle, or ancient Hierapolis, Holy City, this area has been drawing visitors to its thermal springs since the time of classical antiquity. The Turkish name refers to the surface of the shimmering, snow-white limestone, shaped over millennia by calcite-rich springs. Dripping slowly down the mountainside, mineral-rich waters collect in and cascade down the mineral terraces into pools below. Legend has it that the formations are solidified cotton, the area's principal crop, that giants left out to dry. A remarkable UNESCO World Heritage Site in southwest Turkey, a visit to Pamukkale, Cotton Palace, also takes in the ancient ruins of Hierapolis, the once great city that was built around it. Water cascades from natural springs and down the white travertine terraces and forms stunning thermal pools. Number 5. Lake Hillier, Western Australia. Lake Hillier is a saline lake on the edge of Middle Island, the largest of the islands and islets that make up the Recherche archipelago in the Goldfields Esperance region, off the south coast of Western Australia. It is particularly notable for its pink color. A long and thin shore divides the Southern Ocean, by some definitions, the Indian Ocean, from the lake. Lake Hillier is about 600 meters, 2,000 feet, in length, by about 250 meters, 820 feet, in width. The lake is surrounded by a rim of sand and a dense woodland of paperbark and eucalyptus trees, with a narrow strip of sand dunes covered by vegetation separating its northern edge from the northern coast of Middle Island. The most notable feature of the lake is its pink, vibrant color. The vibrant color is permanent, and does not alter when the water is taken in a container. The pink color is believed to be due to the presence of the organism, Dunaliella salina. This remarkable lake is on the largest of the islands in Western Australia's Recherche archipelago. The lake keeps its deep pink color year-round, which some scientists say is down to high salinity combined with the presence of a salt-loving algae species known as Dunaliella salina and pink bacteria known as halobacteria. Number 6. Badab-e-surt, Iran. Badab-e-surt is a natural site in Mazandaran province in northern Iran, 95 kilometers, 59 miles, southeast of the city of Sari, and 7 kilometers, 4.3 miles, east of Orost village. It comprises a range of steppe travertine terrace formations that have been created over thousands of years as flowing water from two mineral hot springs cooled and deposited carbonate minerals on the mountainside. Badab-e-surt springs are two distinct mineral springs with different natural characteristics, located at 1,840 meters, 6,040 feet, above sea level. The first spring contains very salty water that gathers in a small natural pool. Its water is considered to have medicinal properties, especially as a cure for rheumatism and some types of skin diseases and skin conditions. The second spring has a sour taste and is predominantly orange, mainly due to the large iron oxide sediments at its outlet. These beautiful travertine terraces in northern Iran are an incredible natural phenomenon that developed over thousands of years. Travertine is a type of limestone formed from the calcium deposit in flowing water, and in this case it's two hot springs with different mineral properties. The unusual reddish color of the terraces is caused by the high content of iron oxide in one of the springs. There is plenty of color elsewhere in Iran. Head to the Nakshi Jahan Square in Esfahan to find endless bright tiles in one of the biggest squares on the planet. Iran's Masjid-i-Imam Mosque also features in our roundup of awe-inspiring architectural wonders. Number 7. The Tianzi Mountains, China. Tianzi Mountain is a mountain in Zhangjiajie in the Hunan province of China, close to the Suoshi Valley in south-central China. Before the Ming Dynasty, Tianzi Mountain was known as Qingyan Mountain because of its green stones. The mountain is named after the early Ming Dynasty farmers Xiang Dakuan of the Tujia ethnic group, who led a successful local farmers' revolt and called himself Xiang Wang Tianzi, meaning son of heaven, and which is the traditional epithet of the Chinese emperor. The highest pillar of Tianzi Mountain is Kunlun Peak with an elevation of 1,262.5 meters, 4,142 feet 1 inch, and the lowest pillar is Shilanyu with an elevation of 534 meters, 1,752 feet. Tianzi Mountain is a part of the Wulingyuan Scenic Area and was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1992. Found in the northwest of Hunan Province in China, these staggering limestone pinnacles are covered in lush greenery and often shrouded in mist. A cable car goes as far as Huangshe village, and from here there are plenty of trails to take in the breathtaking views of Tianzi, son of heaven. Unsurprisingly, they are the inspiration for the floating mountains in the blockbuster movie Avatar. Number 8. The Nasca Lines, Peru. The Nasca Lines are a collection of giant geoglyphs, designs or motifs etched into the ground located in the Peruvian coastal plain about 250 miles, 400 kilometers, south of Lima, Peru. Created by the ancient Nazca culture in South America, and depicting various plants, animals, and shapes, the 2,000-year-old Nasca Lines can only be fully appreciated when viewed from the air given their massive size. Despite being studied for over 80 years, the geoglyphs, which were designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994, are still a mystery to researchers. There are 3 basic types of Nazca lines: straight lines, geometric designs, and pictorial representations. There are more than 800 straight lines on the coastal plain, some of which are 30 miles (48 kilometers) long. Additionally, there are over 300 geometric designs, which include basic shapes such as triangles, rectangles, and trapezoids, as well as spirals, arrows, zigzags, and wavy lines. The Nazca lines are perhaps best known for the representations of about 70 animals and plants, some of which measure up to 1,200 feet, 370 meters, long. Examples include a spider, hummingbird, cactus plant, monkey, whale, llama, duck, flower, tree, lizard, and dogs. The animal figures in geometric shapes etched by the ancient Nazca into Peru's barren Pampa de San Jose are one of South America's great mysteries. Visible only from the air or from a metal viewing tower beside the highway, some of the unexplained shapes are up to 200 m in length, and each one is executed in a single continuous line. It's most certainly one of the strangest places in the world. The Nazca lines are best to be explored from one of the scenic flights, to discover the huge figures and animals. Beyond the Nazca lines, there is plenty more to explore in the fascinating country of Peru. Number 9. The Bermuda Triangle, North Atlantic Ocean. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, is an urban legend focused on a loosely defined region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean where a number of aircraft and ships are said to have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The idea of the area as uniquely prone to disappearances arose in the mid-20th century, but most reputable sources dismiss the idea that there is any mystery. Long shrouded in myth and mystery, the infamous 500,000 square miles, also dubbed the Devil's Triangle, is roughly the area between Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. Although the U.S. Coast Guard disputes any such area exists, conspiracy theories thrive on stories about unusual magnetic readings and ships, planes, and people who have disappeared here without a trace. Number 10. Socotra Island, Yemen. Separated from mainland Africa more than 6 million years ago, this remote island looks like the set of a sci-fi film. Socotra's incredible and unique biodiversity means that there are plants and trees here not found anywhere else in the world. Particularly bizarre are the ancient and twisted dragon's blood tree and the bulbous bottle tree. Definitely one of the most unique places to visit in the world. Socotra or Socotra is an island of the Republic of Yemen in the Indian Ocean, under the de facto control of the UAE-backed Southern Transitional Council, a secessionist participant in Yemen's ongoing civil war. Lying between the Guardafui Channel and the Arabian Sea and near major shipping routes, Socotra is the largest of the 4 islands in the Socotra archipelago. Since 2013, the archipelago constituted the Socotra Governorate. The island of Socotra represents around 95% of the landmass of the Socotra archipelago. It lies 380 kilometers, 240 miles, south of the Arabian Peninsula, but is considered to be part of Africa. The island is isolated and home to a high number of endemic species. Up to a third of its plant life is endemic. It has been described as the most alien-looking place on Earth. The island measures 132 kilometers, 82 miles, in length and 49.7 kilometers, 30.9 miles, in width. In 2008, Socotra was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Number 11. The Hand in the Desert, Chile. The Mano del Desierto is a large-scale sculpture of a hand located in the Atacama Desert in Chile, about 60 kilometers to the south and east of the city of Antofagasta, on the Pan-American Highway. The nearest point of reference is the Ciudad Empresarial La Negra business city. It lies between the 1309 and 1310 km marker points on the highway. It was created to represent the awful human rights Chileans were going through in the past. The sculpture was constructed by the Chilean sculptor Mario Irarrázaval at an altitude of 1,100 meters above sea and level. Its exaggerated size is said to emphasize human vulnerability and helplessness. The work has a base of iron and concrete, and stands 11 meters, 36 feet, tall. Funded by Corporación Pro Antofagasta, a local booster organization, the sculpture was inaugurated on March 28, 1992. It has since become a point of interest for tourists traveling Route 5, which forms part of the Pan-American Highway. It is an easy victim of graffiti and is therefore cleaned occasionally. To get to the sculpture from Antofagasta, take Route 28 going east until the road joins Route 5 at La Negra Industrial Complex. Distance from Route 1 in Antofagasta to the junction at La Negra approximately 16 kilometers, 9.9 miles. Take Route 5 going south for another 48 kilometers, 30 miles, or a dirt road turns right, west, towards the sculpture. The sculpture is 450 meters, 1,480 feet, from the main road. Clear signposts are placed on the road, although the sculpture can already be seen from quite a distance away. Chilean sculptor Mario Irarrázaval is responsible for this very weird work of art rising out of the sand in the middle of Chile's Atacama Desert, 46 miles south of the city of Antofagasta. Irarrázaval is known for his works associated with human suffering, and this huge unnerving sculpture captures a feeling of loneliness, exacerbated by its desolate and secluded location. Number 12. Chocolate Hills of Bohol Island, the Philippines. The Chocolate Hills are a geological formation in the Bohol province of the Philippines. There are at least 1,260 hills, but there may be as many as 1,776 hills spread over an area of more than 50 square kilometers, 20 square miles. They are covered in green grass that turns brown during the dry season, hence the name. The Chocolate Hills are a famous tourist attraction of Bohol. They are featured in the provincial flag and seal to symbolize the abundance of natural attractions in the province. They are in the Philippine Tourism Authority's list of tourist destinations in the Philippines. They have been declared the country's third national geological monument and proposed for inclusion in the UNESCO World Heritage. Bohol's 1,700-odd conical hills dot the middle of the island in the Philippines. They range in height but are so regular in shape that they could be mistaken for being man-made. However, according to UNESCO, they are the uplift of coral deposits and a result of rainwater erosion. The hills only earn their chocolate nickname in the dry season when the foliage goes from lush green to brown. Number 13. Red Beach, Panjin, China. Red Beach, located in Dawa County, Panjin, Liaoning, China, is famous for its landscape featuring the red plant of Sueta salsa of the family Chenopodiaceae. It is based in the biggest wetland and reed marsh in the world. The landscape is composed of shallow seas and tidelands. The Sueta is one of the few species of plant that can live in highly alkaline soil. Its growth cycle starts in April when it is colored light red, while the color of the mature species is deep red. Panjin Shuangtaizi River Mouth State-Level Nature Protection Area preserves a very large ecologically intact wetland. More than 260 kinds of birds and 399 kinds of wild animals live in it. It was promoted to the State-Level Nature Protection Area in 1988 and has applied to join the International Person and Biosphere Protectorate Network. Very cool and very weird, this beach is covered in a type of seaweed called Sueta, which turns bright red in autumn. 30 kilometers southwest of Panjin in China, these tidal wetlands are an important nature reserve for migrating birds. Only a small section of the beach is open to the public, but it can be explored via a wooden walkway that stretches out to sea. Number 14. Plain of Jars, Laos. The Plain of Jars is a megalithic archaeological landscape in Laos. It consists of thousands of stone jars scattered around the upland valleys and the lower foothills of the central plain of the Xiangkhouang Plateau. The jars are arranged in clusters ranging in number from 1 to several hundred. The Xiangkhouang Plateau is at the northern end of the Annamese Cordillera, the principal mountain range of Indochina. French researcher Madeleine Colony concluded in 1930 that the jars were associated with burial practices. Excavation by Lao and Japanese archaeologists in the intervening years has supported this interpretation with the discovery of human remains, burial goods and ceramics around the jars. Researchers, using optically stimulated luminescence, determined that the jars were put in place as early as 1240 to 660 BC. The jars at Site 1, using detrital zircon geochronology, were determined to have been transported to their current location from a presumed quarry 8 kilometers away. The Plain of Jars is one of the most important prehistoric sites in Southeast Asia. Shrouded in myth, megalithic stone jars are scattered across Xiangkhouang Province, Laos, in groups from 1 to 100. A working theory is that the huge cylindrical jars were used in ancient funeral ceremonies, though local legend has it that the jars were used to brew rice wine for giants. Number 15. Goblin Valley State Park, Utah, USA. Goblin Valley State Park is a state park of Utah, in the United States. The park features thousands of hoodoos, referred to locally as goblins, which are formations of mushroom-shaped rock pinnacles, some as tall as several meters. The distinct shapes of these rocks result from an erosion-resistant layer of rock atop relatively softer sandstone. Goblin Valley State Park and Bryce Canyon National Park, also in Utah about 190 miles 310 kilometers to the southwest, contain some of the largest occurrences of hoodoos in the world. The park lies within the San Rafael Desert on the southeastern edge of the San Rafael Swell, north of the Henry Mountains. Utah State Route 24 passes about 4 miles, 6.4 kilometers, east of the park. Hanksville lies 12 miles, 19 kilometers to the south. Soft sandstone has, for many years, been eroded by wind and water to form strange pinnacles or hoodoos that some think resemble goblins. The eerie landscape is only about a mile across and 2 miles long, and it's well worth exploring the marked trails to get up close to the bizarre formations. That's all for today. See you in another video. If you enjoyed the video and found it informative, then please like the video and let us know your opinion in the comment box. Never forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon next to it. Share the video if we earn it. Thanks for watching.